Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have a 2024 Alliance Delta and we're going to see just how much 2000 watts will help power that rig. Now this is a 2024 Ford F350 Platinum, and if you don't know, that 2000 watts of power in the bed does come standard. I borrowed this truck from Larry H. Miller Super Ford here in Salt Lake City. It is available for sale, so be sure to ask for Ken. He's going to help me with the keys today. So I have a twist style 50 amp down to 20 amp right there. And I'm sure you guys saw my extension cord inside the bed. And of course, this is your 2000 or 2.0 kilowatts of power right there. Now on top of the roof there's two AC units. I will try to see if this truck will power one. Now I'm pretty sure it's not going to be able to, because you're probably going to need at least 2500 watts at least to power the AC unit, at least. Now under the seat you guys will see the inverter, right? It's a little bit bigger than the one you see on the trucks with only 400 watts of power max. And when you go up front, they do have a button right here. This button here will turn on the Pro Power. Now this screen has a nice layout to show you the onboard power. So if you hit features, you'll see Pro Power Onboard, and you can turn off the entire system including the plugs inside the interior. So you have 120 volt plug there, and then there's one out back somewhere on that center console. Now in order to turn on this system here, all you have to do is hit the button, and it says in generator mode your engine will continue to run to supply power to the outlets. Only use vehicle outside, obviously. Now with that being said, this is a diesel. Unfortunately, if you want that power to run, you have to keep your truck on. So if you know you're going to buy this truck because of the Pro Power, you might want to buy a gas engine, because you don't want a diesel to be idling for long periods of time. Let's go ahead and get started with the test. They do have a button here. It does say this button tests outlets for proper operation for ground fault protection. And successful test, Pro Power Onboard turns off and displays a message. Okay, so they do have that, I guess, as a fail-safe if you want to protect the truck and trailer or whatever you're powering. Now let's go ahead and plug in, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys some of the features on the RV. So this is pretty simple stuff. All you have to do is just plug in here. I did turn the truck back off too, by the way. So yep, plugged in there, and then all I have to do is just run this over to the RV like so. Now as far as my RV goes, I'll be honest, I have a newer style RV, and what that means is most of the features inside of here do run off of 12 volt, for example. Actually, let's just go and push out the slide. Now with that being said, this runs off 12 volt, so you don't need a 120 volt power supply for that because you have batteries. I have dual battery setup. Now my refrigerator is 12 volt. My water heater is actually a tankless gas one. So typically on older rigs, your water heater will probably have gas and electric, so electric would be 120 volt. Typically your refrigerators were gas and electric too, because back in the day they didn't really have 12 volt refrigerators. They probably did, but they just weren't popular. But with that being said, I guess all I have is my TVs, because I have one here and I have one in the bedroom, so we'll turn those on. The last thing we'll test out is obviously the air conditioning. Now what I'll tell you is I'm pretty sure that system will not be able to handle that. So as of right now, nothing that runs off 120 volt is not working. We were plugged in, but it's not working. The reason why is, as you guys saw on that menu on the screen on the truck, is you have to keep the truck running. So let's go ahead and start the truck up, and it should actually turn on the converter, and then that might pull some power, and that's probably the only thing you're gonna see. And then we'll turn on some of the TVs, and then the last thing we'll do for the first round of testing is turn on the microwave, and then we'll see how much power we have left over. So let's go ahead and go back to the menu. Here we go. So something is plugged into the outlet in the truck, supply power to the outlet. Yes. So let's go back to that screen. So right now, oh wow, so about 470 watts are going out of the truck's power supply, okay? It's kind of dropping slowly but surely. So it was at 470, now it's down to 390. That's the converter for sure, because as I said earlier, there's nothing else really in there that runs off of the 120 volt power supply, okay? So 360 is right now. I can already tell you we're not gonna be able to run anything big inside there. So let's go ahead and turn on the TVs and then we'll come back in and see what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna leave a camera inside the truck and then we're gonna go ahead and turn on some stuff so you guys can see it in real time, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on this television. So you can hear the converter actually. So that's what's pulling power right now. So we turn this television on first. Where's that sensor at? Oh, there it is. So that TV's on. And then we'll just turn this TV on. Even when I turn the lights on inside the rig, you have to keep in mind, lights are 12 volt. So what happens is that converter is just supplying power to keep the batteries topped off. And the batteries are pretty much charged up. So those two screens are on. So let's go ahead and jump back over to the truck so we can kind of see how much power these are pulling. My camera for some weird reason turned off inside the truck. But the good news is I did see that it was up to 330. Now, those TVs do not pull a lot of power, so we're gonna keep those on, okay? I do have a fan inside that rig. I might have two fans in there. I'm gonna plug those in, and then we're gonna see what kind of power those pull, okay? So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll reconvene. So right now, it's back at 300, and I think I got it to 330 when I turned on those two televisions. So I have that one on max, and this one on max too. We actually went to Las Vegas with our rig, and luckily we were able to park under some shade. But even with these two fans on, our bedroom stayed at or below 70, but back here it would climb to about 78, 79 as time progressed. But these fans probably help the most. So when you own an RV, just know you're gonna have to have a couple of fans, even for a 32-foot rig. Our 40-foot fifth wheel would never keep up. You had to start early in the morning to keep it nice and chilled. So with those two fans on, the television's on, we're at almost 400 watts, okay? 400 watts. So we only have 1,600 watts of power. So if you need to keep cool, obviously you can run your fans and you can still watch TV. Now let's see if we can cook something in the microwave. All right, so we still have everything on. The TVs are still on, okay? Let's see if I have some popcorn. If I do, I do not. Okay, that's fine. So here's what I'll do. I'll just turn it on for about 30 seconds. So that's fine. We'll just do it for 30 seconds. So, oh wow. So did you guys see what happened? You cannot run your microwave and the fans and the TVs at the same time. I had to cut some footage out of the video because I forgot to zoom out and it's zoomed in too much to where it's really shaky. I do need to slow down some of my videos anyways because I move really fast. It happens me get excited. Now with that being said, there's a few things I want to mention because you probably won't understand the video if I don't. Number one, I did turn everything off inside the RV just so I can run the microwave. Now, I didn't do that in the video. You can change the power level on microwaves. That way you can run it on less power. If you don't have enough, obviously, like if you have a small generator or if you're using your Ford truck to power your RV, you can put on a lower setting. That way, if you have young kids and you want them to watch TV while you make them food, you can do that. But yeah, I just wanted to make that point. Let's jump back into the video. I just noticed this on the screen. I didn't notice it earlier, so I wanted to make sure you guys saw it. This says Pro Power Onboard turned off. Items plugged in exceeded the system's maximum capacity. Try unplugging one or more items and reset. See on manual for details. So yeah, you can reset it here, but you're not going to be able to run a whole lot of stuff on this system. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's try it one more time. All right, so nothing else on. 220. So that converter is pretty much done charging the battery. So I'm going to put this beef stick in the microwave because I wonder if exactly we were talking it true. So we'll put this in there. Oh, it burned. Hopefully it has some. Oh, here we go. All right. So we'll just put that on there. That way there's something inside the microwave, right? All right. So it's staying on, which is good. Everything else is off. So we now know. So let's go back and check out what happened outside. I don't think I want to eat this. Now, if you do plan on running your RV with your truck, I do recommend venting the hood, even if it's just for like 20-30 minutes, right? Now, I didn't mention this earlier, so you guys see that power plug, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen a power cord for an RV. Well, that's a 20 amp plug. The plug for this, or the cord I should say, for this RV is 50 amp. You can easily run microwave, televisions, fans, vent fans on the roof of the RV off of that type of style power. However, running an AC unit and running a water heater and a 120 volt refrigerator, it's a different story. That power plug will get really, really hot. And you guys see how I have it all tangled up? Well, if I were to run the AC units, I couldn't even do that. I'd have to untangle them because they're going to get really hot and they could even start a fire. So if you want to run your AC unit, you can. You just can't run it with the AC compressor. So let's see what happens. Is it going to kick on? Come on. Let's try this one to see what happens. I don't know why it's not kicking on. If you just turn on the fan without the AC compressor, it should still come on. So I hear it clicking. But yeah, it's not coming on, but it's okay. Here's what we'll do. We're gonna redo this test with a power boost. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Here's my humble opinion. The 2000 watts of power for the Ford Super Duty is a huge selling point. If you do have a lot of work you have to do on a work site and you don't want to lug around a generator. Like if you're only going to use that system for 15 to 30 minutes tops, that's fine. But to use that for hours, just get a $1,000 generator. I would not want to run my $100,000 truck. I mean, the engine in that truck is probably 20 to 30 grand if you have to replace it, right? So it makes no sense to run your RV for hours at a time with all the emissions crap on this truck. And as I said, this is not enough power cord to run really over 1,000 watts in my opinion. I think you got to get some heavy duty stuff there. But I hope you guys like the video. Let me go ahead and grab the keys to the power boost and then we will reconvene this test hopefully soon.